A 20-year-old student drove home by car and disappeared without a trace. At first, the investigation of this case seemed extremely difficult for the police, but with each passing day, they became more convinced that the solution had been right in front of them all along. Kara Evelyn Nott was born on February 11, 1966, in California. She lived with her parents in the city of El Cajon, California. There were 4 children in the family: Kara, 2 older sisters, and a brother. After graduating from high school, Kara enrolled at San Diego State University. She wanted to work as a middle school teacher. For her 20th birthday, Kara's father bought her a car, a white 1968 Volkswagen. Every day she drove to school, and the trip from her parents' home to campus took about 20 minutes. After classes, Kara worked part-time at the local zoo and a health food store. She donated part of her earnings to a center for helping injured animals. During the Christmas holidays, Kara spent time joyfully with her family and friends. On December 27, 1986, she decided to visit her boyfriend, Wayne Bautista, who lived 50 kilometers from her home in a small town called Escondido. Wayne was sick and needed care. She spent the entire day with him and, after 8 p.m., called her father, saying she was leaving. The trip was supposed to take no more than an hour, but by midnight, Kara hadn't returned. Her father called Wayne, hoping to hear that she had decided to stay, but Wayne said that Kara had left right after her call. The parents set out to search for Kara. There were 2 possible routes to her destination, so they decided to split up. Kara's siblings also joined the search. The family searched for Kara throughout the night on their own, as the police refused to take a missing persons report because less than 24 hours had passed since her disappearance. At dawn, one of Kara's sisters and her husband turned off the highway and took a back road. After a few minutes, they spotted Kara's car. The door was open, her purse was on the seat, and the car keys were still in the ignition, but Kara was nowhere to be found. The police arrived at the scene. One of the officers walked down the road to an abandoned bridge where he found a body in the bushes. The relatives were nearby and immediately recognized that it was Kara. The detectives found no leads. The only clue was tire tracks near the bridge that were wider than those made by Kara's Volkswagen. The cause of death was strangulation, and the estimated time of death was between 9 and 10 p.m. Before dying, the victim had been struck on the head 3 times. The medical examiner found no signs of sexual assault. Since all of her belongings were still at the scene, robbery was ruled out, leaving the motive unclear. On the day of the incident, Kara left her boyfriend's house at 8:30 p.m. She stopped at a gas station near the location where her body was found. The question arose, why did she turn off the highway onto a desolate road? The first suspect was Wayne, her boyfriend, as he was the last person to see her. After Kara's father called him, Wayne also went out to search for her, leaving his house late at night, something his sister confirmed. The second suspect was Wayne's father. He owned the store where Kara worked part-time and had a questionable reputation. He often flirted with women and made inappropriate remarks. At Kara's funeral, he wept bitterly, even though Kara wasn't a relative. A witness reported seeing a gold Cadillac stop near the crime scene, with a blonde-haired girl resembling Kara sitting in the front seat. Wayne's father owned a car matching this description. However, he had an alibi. He was an hour away from the scene, something confirmed by phone records. Kara's case received media attention, with the police hoping it would bring new leads. A local TV station produced a program in collaboration with the police department to explain how to stay safe on the road during emergencies. Around 300 calls were made to the hotline. Over 30 women reported that they had been stopped on that same road by patrol officer Alan Peyer, 38 years old. He had behaved strangely for someone in his position. He would often sit in the passenger seat, shift conversations to personal topics, ask inappropriate questions, make lewd jokes, and sometimes touch their hair or shoulders. These encounters lasted anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours. Several women mentioned that Craig had asked them to pull over onto the same road where Kara's car was found. Craig was married and had 2 children from previous marriages. He had served in the patrol service for 13 years. His colleagues spoke highly of him, and he was often used as a model officer. However, it soon became clear that women had previously complained about Craig's behavior during traffic stops. The administration had concluded each time that he hadn't overstepped his duties. Craig participated in the television broadcast that aired just a few days after the murder of the young woman. In the footage, fresh scratches could be seen on his face, which appeared on December 27th. In his shift report, Craig wrote that he had returned to the station to refuel his car, accidentally spilled gas, slipped, and fell onto a fence with barbed wire. However, this was a lie. One of the duty officers confirmed that Craig had arrived at the station already scratched. Another oddity was found on his shift card for December 27th. One of the entries had been erased. In this spot, he had recorded a traffic stop at 9:30 p.m. Experts later determined that the original entry had stated 10:30 p.m. The tire size of his car matched the tracks found near the bridge. Under the spare tire in Craig's vehicle, a rope was discovered, and experts concluded that it could have been the murder weapon, as similar marks were found on Kara's neck. During questioning, Craig denied everything, claiming he was several kilometers away from the crime scene. However, when the police examined the uniform he had worn that day, they found gold fibers on Kara's clothing, which matched the threads from Craig's uniform patch. Additionally, a small piece of purple fabric was stuck to Craig's boots, the same type of fabric used to make Kara's pants. There was also a blood stain on Kara's shoes. Though DNA testing wasn't available at the time, they determined the blood type was AB negative, the rarest type. Craig had the same blood type. As detectives pieced the evidence together, a new witness came forward, claiming they had seen a patrol car turn onto the deserted road, following a white car. Another colleague of Craig's, who had recently joined the force, told investigators that Craig had once taken her to the abandoned bridge, where he commented that it would be the perfect spot to dispose of a body. On January 17, 1987, Craig Peyer was arrested. His defense argued that the evidence was circumstantial and did not definitively prove his guilt. The jury deliberated for a week without reaching a verdict, and the trial was declared a mistrial. In the second trial, however, Craig was found guilty of Kara's murder and sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 25 years. In 2004, after 17 years in prison, Craig refused to provide a DNA sample for testing, which led to a denial of his parole request. His wife, who had regularly visited him in prison, divorced him in 2007. In January 2027, Craig will turn 77 years old and will have another chance at parole. And that concludes our coverage of this tragic story. If you found this video informative or thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on cases like these. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to share this video with your friends and give it a thumbs up if you found it valuable. Thank you for watching.